Good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I would also like to welcome those who joined us by live stream. Again, thank you for being here. It's so great to see so many people here in the council chambers. We need to make this exactly the same every council meeting. So I expect to see you back in 2 weeks. All right. I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order for Tuesday, September 24, 2024. And I want to read a diversity statement, and then we'll get right to the invocation. The town of Apex values and celebrates diversity and inclusion. We see diversity as a strength that binds our community together. Inviting members from different faith communities to deliver the invocation at the beginning of our council meetings supports this unity. Recognizing that not everyone practices the same traditions, we welcome you to have a private moment of silence. So tonight, I would like to welcome Vineet Shastri to deliver the invocation on behalf of the Radha Krishna Temple of North Carolina here in Apex. So thank you, sir, for being here.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Namaskar. I'll recite a few mantras from our Hindu Vedic scriptures, along with the meaning of those mantras provided by Swami Mukundanandaji from Radha Krishna Temple. And the meaning would be in English so that everyone can benefit, from that. There are four mantras. I'll start with the first one. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, the Supreme Divine, is perfect and complete in all ways. The world that has emerged from him is also flawless and complete. The Lord is so wholly complete that what has come from him is complete, and what remains is also whole. Om, let there be peace, peace and peace. The next one. Om Asato Ma Sadagamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, we pray to the Supreme Entity that he may lead everyone from untruth to truth, from darkness to light, from death to immortality, and thus we call on the Lord for everlasting inner peace. The third one. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Bhaga Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, we pray to the Master of the universe for happiness, good health, well-being for one and all. We ask him for the prevalence of peace by eradicating all suffering. And the last one. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We pray to the Supreme Lord for the good health of all beings. We call on him for the peace, fulfillment, and prosperity of all living beings. Again, may peace prevail. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. If you're able, please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you very much. I want to read an interpretation statement. The town of Apex strives to be a welcoming community for all. Simultaneous interpretation services will be available throughout tonight's meeting. If you hear whispering, it's simply our interpreters helping to ensure that everyone can fully participate in the discussion, regardless of language. So thank you for your understanding and cooperation as we work to make our meetings more inclusive and accessible for all. So we'll move now into the consent agenda. Consent agenda has been presented. Are there any recommended changes before approval?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make an amendment to consent agenda item number 3, which is the multi-year contract with Rebuilding Together in the Triangle. There's a little error in the materials as presented. The actual budget amendment needs to read $592,500 instead of the $542,500 as stated in the meeting materials.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor with the approved consent agenda with this change, say aye.
Aye.
All right, oppose? All right, motion carries unanimously. All right, we'll move now to presentations. We have quite a few tonight. We'll have the first one, presentation 1, Apex Public School Foundation, a great foundation, quarterly Peak Star Awards, 4th quarter, presented tonight by Councilmember Terry Mahaffey and Barb Conroy, president and co-founder of Apex Public School Foundation. So, Councilman Mahaffey.
All right, thank you, Mayor. So what we're here to do tonight is every quarter, the town of Apex, partnering with the Apex Public School Foundation, works together. We created this award to honor public school teachers, administrators, and other staff members for their hard work they do to educate our kids and take care of our kids here in Apex. And this is an opportunity for us to both honor them, learn more about what they're doing in the community, and give them a chance to hear more about it. So, in order to hear more about the program, I'd like to invite up Barb and tell us more about the Apex Public School Foundation and about our honoree tonight.
Fantastic. Good evening. Good to see you all. Thank you again, Councilmember Mahaffey, for creating this program. As you all know, the Apex Public School Foundation supports the 19 Wake County Public Schools with an Apex mailing address. That's 3 high schools, 5 middle schools, and 11 elementary schools currently in our town of Apex. Our primary program, the Teacher Grant Program, funds teacher proposals that promote student engagement through innovative, creative, and collaborative programs. Our 2024-25 grant window just opened, so we are currently accepting applications. So please let all the educators that you know, remind them, make them aware of this opportunity. We are doing our best to do that as well. We had the gift of getting into all the schools with their opening staff meetings to really push the program, and I'm looking forward to a year beyond all of our previous years. Applications will be accepted through October 15th, and we will be awarding funds in early 2025. Each Tuesday, the foundation celebrates exceptional educators, administrators, and staff members through our weekly shout-out program. The weekly honorees are then eligible for this quarterly award, the Apex Peak Star, and that is why I'm here tonight. It is my pleasure to introduce this quarter's Peak Star Award recipient, Miss Lucretia Weber of Scotts Ridge Elementary School. Miss Weber serves the Saylor community as a music teacher and regularly goes above and beyond her job description to engage her students in meaningful musical experiences. These include a student chorus that meets before the school day begins. So again, before she's even expected to be teaching, Miss Weber is working with students on her chorus. Grade level performance concerts for 1st, 3rd, and 5th grade students at Scotts Ridge Elementary School, leading the school's STEAM Night event, which is no small task, and DJing other school events. Scotts Ridge Principal Derek Evans shared, Mrs. Weber is an incredible music teacher who gets students excited about all that music has to offer. Her love for our students and school is always apparent, and everyone in the school loves her right back. Thank you for all you do, Miss Weber, and congratulations for being recognized as a Peak Star. Coming up, Miss Weber, and she's joined tonight by Assistant Principal Angela Griffin.
I just would like to add what a huge asset Ms. Weber is to our Saylor community. She gives every day with a servant's heart and is a true leader in our school. The amount of time that she puts in to make our school a better place and the Apex community a better place is really hard to even quantify because she gives so much every day to our students. And it wasn't added in there that she's also teaching students how to play the ukulele along with the recorder, which is so unique. And we just appreciate her and love her and care for her so much. And we're so proud that she's getting this recognition tonight. So thank you.
Thank you.
Just like you want
Let me own it, man.
Kind of just sitting here watching.
Right. Everybody in? All right. Thank you. Thank you. You always do. All right. Congratulations, Ms. Weber. And Councilman Mahaffey, thank you for sponsoring this award. All right, we move now to presentation number 2, Proclamation Domestic Violence Awareness Month, October 2024. And as we always do with proclamations, we'll join together in front and read it in unity. All right, Domestic Violence Awareness Month 2024 proclamation, and tonight will be kicked off by Councilwoman Killingsworth. Thank you.
Domestic Violence Awareness Month 2024. Whereas domestic violence is a horrific and widespread issue faced by millions of individuals nationwide, including 35.2% of women and 30.3% of men in North Carolina at some point during their lives, and
Whereas domestic violence affects individuals and families in our community and disproportionately impacts underserved and marginalized populations who often face barriers to accessing essential services. And
Whereas the Town of Apex Police Department works with Shining Light in Darkness, a nonprofit organization, to connect survivors with support and programming intended to guide them on the path to healing. And
Whereas Shining Light in Darkness plays a vital role in crisis response, direct services, resources, and referrals by offering 24-hour crisis line, emergency housing, coordination, legal assistance, and case management to ensure that survivors receive immediate and sustained support. And
Whereas the Town of Apex recognizes the critical role that nonprofit organizations like Shining Light in Darkness play in safeguarding the well-being of survivors, and survivors are encouraged to contact Shining Light in Darkness at 919-791-5578 to support their healing journey.
Now, therefore, I, Jacques K. Gilbert, Mayor of Apex, North Carolina, do hereby proclaim the month of October 2024 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in the Town of Apex, and urge residents to check in on their loved one and offer support and understanding to survivors. And be it further proclaimed that the Hunter Street Water Tower will be illuminated purple on Friday, October 4th, 2024, following the Glow of Grace event in honor of all victims and survivors of domestic violence. So tonight, to receive the proclamation, Florida Duvall Dudley and Ed Dudley, co-founders of Shining Light in Darkness organization, Rada Mills, board president, Dr. Felicia Title, board vice president, and Dr. Ebony Deal, strategic advisor. And also our very own Danica Coleman, victim advocate at Apex Police Department. So please come up and receive the proclamation. Thank you. No, y'all can come to the center. Right this way. Present this proclamation to you. Thank you so much for all you do for so many people.
Let's squeeze in just a little bit. Come on.
This is a complete surprise for the hard work that we do with Shining Light in Darkness. I was so upset with my husband because we have already had a long day talking about domestic violence, being on TV and everything, and I just was ready to go home and call it the day. And when he would not tell me where we were going, I got upset. I got madder. Wives, you understand when it's something that you want to do and you don't know, and you're just like, okay, I'll deal with it when we get home. That was me. So as I'm smiling, coming in, sitting down and everything, a man that I love that's a part of this community, he let it slip, and I gave this man the eye, and the other lady beside him was like, I'm gonna get y'all. David Baum, he was like, I hear some phenomenal things are gonna happen tonight. I looked, I was like, what are you talking about? And so he gave him the eye, is like, no, she don't know. So with that being said, I'm just over elated because Shining Light in Darkness has been in existence for 10 years now, and it's been 95% volunteer led and funded by my husband and I. And it's just good to see that our labor and our work is not in vain, and the people that we service, they do not go unnoticed. And through us, not only do they get served, but they are also seen, supported, and empowered. Thank you.
Mr. Dudley, you're on your own, man. Just to let you know. Okay, we move now to Proclamation 3 is Hindu Heritage Awareness Month in the town of Apex. And starting the proclamation off tonight will be Councilman Zigerman.
This is a proclamation for the Hindu Heritage Month 2024. Whereas the town of Apex is proud to honor the Hindu Heritage Month throughout the month of October, recognizing and celebrating the remarkable contributions of Hindu Americans, and
Whereas Hindu Americans have created a legacy that continues to inspire through their contributions that span diverse fields, from mathematics, science, and medicine to music, art, and philosophy, and literature. And
whereas the town of Apex is proud to have a thriving Hindu community that has greatly enriched the quality of life in our town. Hindu Americans represent both one of the world's oldest civilizations and one of the fastest growing communities in the United States. And
whereas during the month of October, the Hindu community in Apex and across the United States will celebrate their rich heritage by highlighting their culture and the diverse spiritual traditions originating from India. And
whereas the town of Apex is thrilled to present this month's Learning Lunch series, featuring a focus on Diwali, the Festival of Lights. Bring your lunch and discover more about the history of Diwali on October 16th from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. at the Senior Center, presented by HumSub.
Now, therefore, I, Jacques K. Gilbert, Mayor of Apex, North Carolina, do hereby proclaim the month of October 2024 Hindu Heritage Month in the town of Apex, and proudly join in the celebration of rich traditions, culture, and advancements Hindu Americans have brought to our community. And tonight, receiving the proclamation will be the Hindu Swayamsevik San and then Ashtosh, Aradi, and Abaha. Did I get that right? Close enough. All right, if you would please come up and receive the proclamation. Thank you. Okay, can I have y'all to come to the center? There's more coming, okay? Hi.
So we are thankful to the Apex Town Council for giving us the proclamation for the Hindu Heritage Month. So we are celebrating the Festival of Lights, is already mentioned in the proclamation, and also one of the another festival, that is Vijayadashmi, which is the victory over the evils. That is one of the other festival we celebrate in the month of October. So thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you so much. All right, the last proclamation is Public Power Week 2024 here in the town of Apex. And starting us off tonight with this proclamation will be Council Member Mahaffey. Councilman.
Whereas public power is a crucial component in cities and towns across the United States, driving the overall health of communities by providing unmatched electrical reliability, sustainable power, excellent local service, and essential jobs in communities. And
whereas the town of Apex, which is part of North Carolina, has more than 70 public power cities and towns that are among the 2,000 across the country, provides electricity with a reliability of 99.99% to over 30,000 customers. And
whereas the Town of Apex Electric Utilities Department provides Apex homes and businesses with reliable, efficient, and safe electricity, employing sound business practices designed to ensure the best possible service. And
whereas the town of Apex has been supplying public power since 1917 and is proud to be in its 108th year of service. And
whereas the Apex Electric Utilities Department consists of over 40 team members who are arborists, line workers, and perform technical services and administrative roles, and was recently awarded the Electricity's Public Power Award of Excellence for providing superior power and the American Public Power Association's reliable public power provider.
Now, therefore, I, Jacques K. Gilbert, Mayor of Apex, North Carolina, do hereby proclaim the week of October 6th through October 12th, 2024, Public Power Week in the town of Apex, and commend our stellar electric utility staff for the incredible work they do to keep our town running. And receiving the proclamation tonight from our Town of Apex Electric Utilities Department is Director Eric Newman, Emily Woody, the GOAT, Caitlin Scottnicki, Philip Barnes, Ben Lannon, Mark Risby, Ken Weatherman, John Rose, and all of you. Come on up and receive the proclamation. All right. Okay. And also, I do want to recognize our wonderful team. They just received also recently a Public Power Award of Excellence, presented with honor to Apex for exceptional achievement in the area of provide superior power, awarded on August 14, 2024 by Electric Cities of North Carolina. So great work by all of you. Thank you so much. Say it's yours. So right here in the center. Okay, she's gonna hang it up. Okay. Okay. All right, and we got one more dignitary superstar to recognize. So obviously we have the director and all of staff, and then we have our assistant town managers who also they report to. So leading the way is our very own Marty Stone. So Mr. Marty Stone, I would like to call you up and be a part of this presentation as well. As you can see, his hand is wrapped up. He works hard.
Just squeeze in as much as you can.
I have a tendency, this is going to be 2 minutes. Again, I just want to thank, my entire staff here in Apex has done a fabulous job. As you know, we traditionally get this award every year, and I was surprised when the town manager turned around and said, we're going to present it in front of everybody. I said, if we do this every time we get an award, we're going to be up here a lot. And one of the things we try to do is not be here a lot, because we want to make sure that, we keep the power on and that we're not in the forefront of anything. So, fortunately, Apex has extremely good reliability. We've been recognized throughout the entire state and the country as being one of the top performers. And again, we have a system that is designed, it's world class. I'm not going to badmouth Duke Energy. I worked for Duke for many years, and I got to tell you that the system we have built here and we've invested in is bar none one of the best systems across North Carolina. And, I enjoy going to electricities. It's a conglomeration of all the municipals in North Carolina. There's over 70 of them. And we consistently outperform every darn one of them with our reliability. And it's because of the systems we've built here and the dedication of our staff. As you know, if you ever have a power outage, you call our staff. It's not too long before we're sitting at your front door and we're getting those lights turned on. But again, thank you for our group.
Okay, all right. Well, maybe they're okay. Okay. All right, we move now to setting a regular meeting agenda. Are there any recommended changes before setting the agenda? Hearing none, do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion Gant.
Second.
Second, Mayor Pro Tem, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries unanimously. We have a set agenda. We move now to public forum. This allows the community to come out and speak, and we welcome all of you. Thank you for being here to share information tonight. So I want to give you a quick reminder of the public participation, what we have in place. We want to make sure that we give everybody enough time to present. So you have 3 minutes. There's a series of lights. Green means go. Yellow, you have 30 seconds. And red, we move to the next person. All right, so please be mindful of that. So we'll move right into the sign-in sheet. First speaker tonight is Beth Bordeaux. And if you would, when you come up, please give us your name and address for the record. Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Beth Bordeaux. I live at 1044 Branch Line Lane in Apex. My family and I have lived here for nearly 30 years. I've spent my career in human services as a social worker and a nonprofit leader. I served on the steering committee for the development of the town of Apex's affordable housing plan, which was adopted in February of 21. There was agreement that the market alone cannot adequately address the affordable housing issues that Apex residents face, and that the town has a central role and responsibility to address the housing market through both regulation and public investment. Apex manufactured housing communities and the residents who live there are particularly vulnerable. By design, mobile home parks, a misconception in naming, disadvantages homeowners, and there's very little policy in place to protect them. Most residents own their homes. However, because of the high cost to move a home, owners are at the mercy of landlords who own the land, set the rent rates, set the rules for the community, and ultimately have the power to sell the property and displace residents. This is not just about finding a new affordable place to live, because manufactured home owners who are displaced often have to forfeit the home that they purchased, even if they continue to have payments. One of the recommendations from the Affordable Housing Plan is to include special requirements for discretionary development in areas particularly sensitive to redevelopment, such as mobile home parks, to minimize displacement. Informed by our research, I and others here today believe that there are viable, sustainable solutions within the town's authority to prevent displacement of residents from our manufactured home communities. Therefore, we are specifically asking that the Town Council, 1, commit to non-displacement of the residents of Apex's 3 manufactured home communities, and 2, keep manufactured housing as the future intended land use for these areas, unless it is affordable housing that is financially and practically accessible to the current residents. I'm joined here today by residents who live in these communities, by faith leaders representing their congregations, and by other advocates. And we're asking you, as our elected leaders, to lead with innovation, to lead with our values, and to commit your support for affordable housing preservation through regulation and public investment. And you can begin with your commitment. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bordeaux. Right. Next speaker is Lena Junko. Lena.
Hola, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Lina Junco.
Hello, good evening. My name is Lina Junco.
Vivo en Markham Street.
I live on Markham Street.
Desde hace 16 años.
And I've been there for the last 16 years.
Tengo 20 años viviendo en Apex.
I've lived in Apex for 20 years.
Aquí crecieron mis hijos, aquí fueron a la escuela y quiero seguir viviendo aquí en Apex.
I raised my children here, they went to school here, and I would like to continue living here in Apex.
Le pido al consejo que nos apoyen a que no nos muevan nuestras viviendas.
And so I would ask the council to support us, and so that we do not have to move our homes.
He venido a hablar en nombre de la comunidad. Somos puros latinos.
And I'm here to speak in the name of the community. It's a Latino community.
Llevamos muchos años viviendo ahí y estamos muy a gusto viviendo en Apex. Y les pido su apoyo.
And so most of us have lived there for many years, and we are very happy living here in Apex. So I would ask for your support.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Is that Cortez? Cortez?
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Lisette, tengo 34 años. Yo vivo en la comunidad de trailers móviles aquí en Apex, que está en Seagram.
Hello, good evening. My name is Lisette. I'm 34 years old, and I live in a trailer home community here.
Llevo 9 años viviendo en la comunidad y la verdad, desde que llegué aquí a Apex ha sido nuestra casa junto con mis hijos. Tengo dos hijos, uno de 4 y uno de 13 años.
And for the last 9 years since we got here, this has been our home. I have 2 children. They are 4 years old and 13 years old.
Y estoy aquí para pedirle su apoyo para que no remuevan nuestras casas, ya que es lo único que tenemos y que conocemos. Les ruego que por favor nos apoyen como comunidad. Estoy aquí representando a la comunidad.
And so I ask for your support, that you not remove our homes. These are the homes that we have, the places that we know and love. And so I'm speaking on behalf of my community here today, and I would really like your support.
Thank you.
Thank you. My good friend, Reverend Jose.
My name is Jose Luis Beseñor. I live at the Greenbrier subdivision on Brixton Drive in Apex. I'm the senior pastor of Iglesia Fiesta Cristiana, a United Methodist mission congregation that serves individuals and families in Apex and surrounding areas with a focus on serving historically marginalized communities. And tonight I want to present a letter signed by 14 faith leaders, many of whom are here tonight, as representing over 24,000 congregants, many of who are here tonight as well. Faith leaders have signed on this letter out of concern for Apex residents who live in manufactured home communities, concerned that they are facing the potential of displacement. We also want to speak on defending diversity and inclusion in our community, as the majority of these residents have a Hispanic Latino heritage. We feel as faith leaders that we have an obligation to find solutions to prevent the displacement of these families due to socioeconomic factors that are out of their control. As a town, we have an affordable housing plan, as we've already heard. I was part of the team that worked on that plan. And this plan calls for Apex to identify and eliminate potential barriers to attracting a diverse population and to adopt a racial equity lens to evaluate all housing policies and investments. Protecting residents in mobile home parks is a real opportunity to do this, so that Apex can live into the values of a community that welcome people from all walks of life. So tonight, Mayor, Council, I ask you to join 24,000 voices to prevent displacements of residents of mobile home parks, to protect affordable housing in Apex, and to live into the values of diversity and inclusion. I'd like to end with a quote from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. "There's nothing new about poverty. What is new, however, is that we have the resources to get rid of it. We can do this. Sí se puede. As faith leaders, as people of faith, as people of goodwill, let's stand together with our neighbors to build a more loving and diverse community. And that's the beat. I'm done.
Thank you, Pastor Jose. All right, Reverend Turner. Good to see you. All right.
Good evening. Thank you for your time. My name is Reverend Dr. Tirza Turner, and I live at South Point Drive in Apex. I'm a resident of Apex, and I'm also the community pastor at Cross Point Church in Cary, who many of our congregants live and work in Apex. Cross Point signed the pastoral letter that you received a moment ago, but we also heard from our individual congregants that they wanted their voices to be heard directly, and they knew of others who wanted to be a part of this as well. So what's being presented to you is a letter with another 1,000 individual signatures from Apex area, 17 of which are from Cross Point directly. And they are many other concerned citizens, many that are, as you've heard, are here today. And I encouraged my congregants to sign this letter because our faith calls for and compels us to look outside of ourselves and to care for one another, particularly those who are most vulnerable among us. As a mother, as a resident, and as a pastor representing my congregation, we recognize that when something affects one of us, it affects all of us. And many of these individuals and families in these mobile home parks are long-term residents, as you've heard. They are our neighbors, they're our co-workers, they're our co-residents, they're fellow students in our children's classrooms, and their future hopes mirror our own. Their fear of displacement should be our own fears. The decisions we make regarding this community will speak loudly about the type of community we are and the type of community that we want to be. So I ask you on behalf of myself and my family and on my congregation to work to find an alternative to displacement of our cherished neighbors. These residents matter, as you know. They are a part of the fabric of our community, and they have helped to make Apex the great place that it is. Their homes should be protected so that they might continue to be a part of Apex's future. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Carolyn Wilson. Carolyn Wilson.
Hello, my name's Carolyn Wilson. I'm the Director of Pastoral Services at St. Michael the Archangel Church, Catholic Church in Cary. We currently have 5,350 families or households within our parish. St. Michael Church signed onto the pastoral letter because our parish cares about and stands with the residents in our community who are being affected by the potential sale of the land on which they are living. We have seen residents of manufacturing housing communities be displaced across Wake County, like the Wellington Mobile Home Park residents in Wake Forest, and soon residents from Chatham Estates in Cary. We call on you to use your local government authority to stop the displacement trend in Wake County here in Apex. People of faith are called to love our neighbor and stand with those who are vulnerable. And those who live in manufactured housing are particularly vulnerable. The value of land has increased immensely since 2020, putting naturally occurring affordable housing like these communities at risk of unaffordable redevelopment. It is prohibitively expensive to move a manufactured home, which can cost up to $14,000 and can also cause damage to the home. Many of the residents of Apex's manufactured housing communities have low incomes, and do not have the resources to move their homes. On behalf of Father Scott McHugh, pastor at St. Michael, and I quote, "One of the 7 themes of Catholic social teaching is a preferential option for the poor and vulnerable. A basic moral test is how our most vulnerable members are faring. In a society marred by deepening divisions between rich and poor, our tradition recalls the story of the Last Judgment in Matthew 25, when we are reminded, 'Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you drink? When did we see you a stranger and welcome you, or naked and clothe you? When did we see you ill or in prison and visit you?' And the king will say to them in reply, 'Amen, I say to you, whatever you did for one of these least brothers of mine, you did for me.' We are instructed to always put the needs of the poor and the vulnerable first." Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson. Thank you. All right, Father Bill John.
I'm Father Bill John Acosta Escobar. I live at 535 Crimson Oak Lane in Fuquay, Varina, and I am the pastor of St. Bernadette Catholic Parish there in Fuquay, Varina. And St. Bernadette signed on this letter because since the foundation of our parish, there has been great work done by the bishop, priests, and faithful members to provide the Eucharist, sacraments, faith formation, and outreach ministry, especially to the Hispanics. I am glad to see that 45% of our registered members, who are 2,000, are Hispanic or Hispanic descent. Many of the residents of Apex Mobile Home Park are Hispanics. You already heard that. And many of them are Catholics as well, and attend our local Catholic parishes, missions, and some of them, thanks to the Opportunity Scholarship Program offered by the state, are attending also our Catholic schools. This also speaks of the sacrifices some of these families are making to raise their children with the hope of a brighter future for them, our community, and our country. Many are longtime residents who have raised families, built a strong community, and serve key roles in our congregations. To give a few examples, 21 of our catechists are Hispanics. Some of the Hispanic families have become so close friends with the elderly parishioners that it is difficult for me to imagine that there is no family celebration in which they are not invited to have some tacos and some tamales. When someone needs immediate assistance to replace or fix something in their homes, they call the church if we can recommend a Hispanic parishioner to help them. Another beautiful thing is to see a good number of Hispanic youth going to serve our country in the armed forces and the police. It is devastating for priests, pastors, and leaders of the congregations to see community members being forced to move. When children must break friendships, support structures, and transfer schools because of economic issues, it is heartbreaking. And I question if that is able even to be justified. It is painful to picture losing a good number of parishioners, especially when you know they are doing so much good work here and are needed here. Together, we must ensure that they can bring food to the table and be able to join us every Sunday at the prefiguration of the heavenly banquet and worship. If they are displaced, their families in our community will be disrupted, causing potential financial, emotional, and spiritual harm. Apex rental costs are too high to support these families. Residents will have virtually no choices within the Apex community if they are forced to move. Please support these residents by protecting the land they live on and they learn how to love.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, Margie Ward.
Hello, my name is Margie Ward. I live at 3116 Pleasant Plains Road. I've lived on Pleasant Plains Road for almost 30 years. Many of my neighbors have lived there longer. Our neighborhood has always been a quiet, rural place, with some of us owning horses or other livestock. Until Apex built Pleasant Plains Park, no one even knew our neighborhood was there. The park has brought noise, traffic, and crime to our dead-end street neighborhood. It has made getting to and from our homes difficult. It has put our livestock and pets in danger with the additional traffic. And these concerns we communicated to the town before the park was even built. We knew a separate entrance was needed for the park, but we were ignored, and all our concerns have become reality. I never used to lock my car in my driveway, but I do now. Sometimes I would forget to lock our doors, but I double check them these days. I've added security cameras to my property as well, and there are too many unwelcome visitors in our neighborhood now, and there have been multiple property damage incidents and trespassers. We've had to adjust our lives to the park, but we do not want to have to adjust to commercial property designations to any lots on the street or multi-unit zoning changes. This would only add to the issues we currently have because of the park. We want our neighborhood to remain a rural residential area as it always has been. It is one of the last few green spaces developers have not clear-cut and put multiple unit or zero-lot housing along the old US 1 corridor. The green spaces were what made Apex such a charming little town. Our neighborhood is an example of what Apex could have been if not for all the mismanagement and greed. The town council should want to protect us like a museum piece instead of changing us. I have petitions signed by 90% of our neighbors to oppose any such zoning changes. We are going to become the squeaky wheel on this issue. We love our homes and our neighborhood, and we are not going to let you destroy it for money. And let's face it, that is what this is all about, money. Our neighborhood is not within the city limits of the town of Apex, and we like it that way. But it also means we have no voting power. But we are going to continue to make our opinions heard, and you may get all the other green spaces around us, but we're going to continue to fight to keep our little piece, to keep some of the charm that made Apex wonderful, and you should let us keep it. Thank you.
Thank you. Don Cozzolino, coming up.
Dawn Cozzolino, 3632 Bosco Road. Good evening. Apex August Development Report came out. 78,000 people live in Apex. And projections are in less than 6 years, 100,000 people. And growth rate 4.9%, okay, June of 2022 through June of 2023. It's a big number, okay? So let's face it, this is not a town anymore, it's a city. And you're sitting in a hot seat because you're governing and steering a city. It's a very big responsibility. Return on investment should be front and center to maximize every single tax dollar and create a desirable place for us to call home. Whether you received our vote or not, the community deserves fiscal responsibility and safety. That is a paramount pillar of government. So let's do a traffic study. We need a traffic study for the peak development. I'm asking you tonight, this peak development is in a rural Wake County. It's on Old US 1. They're planning 73 homes to dump out right into Old US 1. This is a simple map I did from Google, and it shows the street view because I think when you look on a map, you can't really tell the dimensions and the feel of the environment. And what you can see here is there's a couple of secondary roads, and I talked about that last time, all the crashes on the secondary roads. But I want you to see this area and how narrow the road is. And for those of you that don't know US 1, It's a 22-foot wide, narrow, no shoulder, old age, hilly road, shady road, sunny road, and it's very dangerous to drive on it. So we already have the dangers from adding, I think we have 3,200 homes that you're constructing right now. And they're not affordable, by the way, just so everybody knows that. They're in the 700 plus range. You're constructing all those homes and allowing that development. That's just going to increase the traffic flow. And I don't know if there, whether there's a policy or state law, I've heard this before. It doesn't matter. People are stressed out driving. People are hurt in crashes. This is something we can do for safety. It's not much to ask for the New Hill Friendship community to really just get the whole picture and prioritize road safety and make it safe and enjoyable for everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Elizabeth Raystead.
Elizabeth Raystead, 3113 Friendship Road, Mayor, Town Council. Good evening. On September 10th, there was a public hearing for Apex in front of the Wake County Agricultural Board in regards to 3 ag properties, which mine was one of the 3. I had asked for the hearing to be delayed the Friday before for 2 reasons. I had submitted questions to the town about the force main that I needed answers to in order to prepare for the hearing. I had not received any answers. So for 20 days, no answers, but yet the town would not agree to delay the hearing. So I had to go into the hearing without answers to any of my questions. I also asked for a delay because Ricky Stone, one of the other property owners, was sick with COVID. He knows I'm sharing this, so it's not anything confidential. But Ricky Stone is a retired Wake County sheriff. He put his life on the line for us daily, year after year after year after year. But yet the town would not allow a delay in the hearing for him to be able to come and speak about his concerns about the force main on his agricultural property. So we did the best thing possible. He wrote a statement and I read it for him. This was not okay. We deserved better treatment from the town. Now, I understand that the statute says, hey, the town can request a public hearing and you hold it within 30 days and everybody's stuck to the rules. So we are going to advocate after the election to get the statute updated. If a property owner is sick, there should be a provision to allow that hearing to be delayed. If the town has withheld information from property owners where we can't properly advocate for our concerns, the hearing should be delayed, because the whole purpose of having the hearing is for our concerns to be addressed. So I don't know if you have seen the letter, but the town received a letter on September 13th where the Wake County Ag Board found that the town had not met the requirements, had not established the need for the Big Branch Force main to go through our properties. So the letter, if you haven't seen it, please take the time to read it because it is very important. What I don't understand is this has been on the town's radar now for 2+ years. What's the rush? Can we not get it right? Can we not be treated fairly in the process? Do we really have to be treated this way? You hear about everybody tonight talking about inclusion and displacement. Well, what you're doing in your decisions on the force main is causing displacement for some of us. Thank you.
All right, that was our last speaker signed up to speak tonight. So I just want to say thank you to all of you who took the time to come out and speak. It's important that we hear from you. I love the community engagement. Don't stop. Continue to share your voice. I also want to recognize, I didn't see her before, so my apology, from the North Carolina General Assembly, Representative Julie Von Hafen is here tonight in the council chamber. So thank you for being here. Thank you. And I also want to recognize our wonderful Apex Youth Council. We have young people here taking part in town government. So Ellison, thank you for all your work you do with our youth council. So, all right, that closes out our public hearing part. So if you guys want to, public forum, so if you want to leave, that's fine, or you can stay for the rest of the meeting. All right, give you time to get out. Thank you. We'll take a recess. All right, we'll take a 10-minute recess, 7:10.
There's something I don't know about my
30-second count.
responsibilities here.
15 seconds.
Okay.
Well, he gave a thumbs up. So.
He did. All right. All right. Thank you, everyone. We're back in session. We'll move now to public hearings, and public hearing number 1 and 2 are rescheduled for the October 8, 2024 regular town council meeting. So I want to make that note. We'll move now to public hearing 3, Unified Development Ordinance UDO Amendments, September 2024, presented tonight by current planning manager Amanda Bunce.
Well, probably won't really need this much. Sorry. Good evening. The UDO amendments before you tonight are to amend various sections of the ordinance in order to remove all references to condominium or condominiums, as a condominium is simply a form of ownership and not a use type. And so, in fact, staff can't even review, is not allowed by state law to review condominium plats. And so the proposal is simply to strike it from all sections of the UDO. Does not impact any approved or proposed developments in any way or require any changes to those. And I can go through them all if you like, but it's simply just striking them throughout the ordinance. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. The planning board heard this at their meeting this month and unanimously recommended approval.
Any questions for Ms. Bunce? Thank you so much. All right. We'll go ahead and open up the public hearing for comment. No one has signed up to speak. Public hearing is closed.
Motion approved.
Motion to approve. Again. Second, Zigerman. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed. All right, carries unanimously. We move now to updates. How you doing, Mr. Stone? All right, let's do it.
All right, so we'll start off with a billing update. Staff continues to work very hard on communications surrounding our utility billing and working very diligently to get it back on its normal schedule. So right now, cycle 2, August bill, it will be back to its normal cycle. In the September cycle 2 bill will be back to normal. So these things get real confusing, but the cycle 2 August bill, which included 2 months or approximately 60 some odd days, the draft for that bill will occur on the 26th of September. It's typically done around the 12th. We let individuals know that we're on cycle 2, that was going to be delayed. And so that actual draft will be on the 26th, and the website has been updated to include that information. Cycle 1 September bill, that is 3 months and includes approximately 100 days. So we've worked really hard. Communications has been working really hard along with finance to try to make this as clear as we possibly can. And one of the things they did. There you go. Thank you. So in cycle 1, that bill will be sent out in the next few days. Again, it is for approximately 100 days or basically 3 months. So one of the first things that if you want in cycle 1 and you receive one of these bills to kind of get an idea of what your normal billing would be, is you need to kind of be looking at that as divide by 3 sort of. I mean, it's not going to be exact, but you know, the bill will look larger than normal, but it's for 100 days where your typical bill is for 30 days-ish. There will be a 4-page insert in this bill, which will be going into as much detail as possible, trying to explain the bill, why it looks different, what the numbers are, and it will walk you through that. Hopefully that will help everyone understand what's going on in it and make it very transparent so they can see what's happening there. That same 4-page insert will also be emailed to all Cycle 1 customers that we have an email address for. We will have handouts downstairs in customer service area to provide people as they come in, and we can walk them through it as well. It will also be placed in the October All-In-E newsletter that goes out, and it will also be on our website. So the Cycle 1 will get back to normal, and it would be its normal 30-day type reading when it's in the October billing that goes out. So there's a lot of moving parts with these things. We ask that everyone be patient with us, and if they have questions, we will work with them to be able to show them that payments made have been, where they have come off the account, and we'll work through all that with them as we need to. Hopefully, we're getting close to getting everything back on a normal schedule. It has been quite a workload for communications and finance and customer service. And they've gotten a lot of help from our Darla staff out of community and neighborhood development. I mean, it's been all hands on deck. The folks from both water resources and electric have also stepped up and tried to help with questions. That is that piece. So finance renovation of the old inspections area. Lomax is the contractor, so you may see some Lomax contractors running around the campus here soon. They are mobilizing tomorrow afternoon, and the demo will start in a few weeks. We will let everybody know when that demo actually starts, because if you're in town hall, it's going to be some extra noise. That demo will not actually start for, probably for a few weeks, but we will, as soon as we have a detailed information on that, we will provide that. We hope that they will finish that renovation and we will be able to move in and occupy that space with our finance department late winter, early spring. So that's a real exciting time. The Mason Street tank, if you have driven up and down Salem Street and looked up, you will notice that the Hunter Street tank, not Mason, Hunter Street is complete. Logo looks really nice. Communications did a really nice job on aligning that our logo so it could be seen from Salem, and that tank is finished. Mason Street, they will plan on starting that this week. The first thing they'll be doing, they'll be basically marking off, taking part of the parking lot, taking away the parking so that they can put up a containment system around that particular tank. That tank's close enough to parking lots and buildings that you build a containment system so you don't have to worry about paint and debris getting out into the parking lot. So that parking will be blocked off for about 2 weeks or until mid-October. It will be opened back up for early voting, and the parking will remain open until after November 7th. Then it will be blocked back off again, and they will come in and finish that tank. Hopefully that tank will be completed in December. Our last tank, that tank on Tension, that tank will not be done at this time because of capacity issues. We don't want to take that tank offline until we get a new tank constructed, which that tank, the bid was advertised this week. So a lot of things moving there. On the Saunders lot, we tried to open bids today. We only had 2 bidders, so we were unable to open bids. We will re-advertise. We will open bids on the 8th, and we will be able to, for sure, as long as we receive a bid at least on the 8th, we will be able to open that bid. We will have met our requirements. Hopefully we get some more participation. Maybe someone who just couldn't bid today for whatever reason will step up and bid the job, but we will be opening those on the 8th. We will bring that to you on the 22nd to award, hopefully. And the job is still on schedule to begin in January. And that's the end of my updates.
All right, thank you for that update.
Yes, sir.
All right, any questions? All right, hearing none. Move now to closed session. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
All right, Zigerman.
Second.
Second, Mayor Pro Tem. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, passes unanimously. We'll move now to closed session. Ready?
Recess.
Okay, all right.
And we will reconvene.
All right, we're going into a recess and reconvene for the continuation of the September 17, 2024 work session on the third floor. All right. Let's go 10 minutes. Everybody good? Yep. All right.